Okay, this is IFRS, that is International Financial Reporting Standards. See, like we have in India accounting standards. We have already studied about accounting standards since your 11th standard. You have already been studying different accounting standards which are applicable to Indian companies. Okay, now many companies have, because of globalization and liberalization, many companies have opened their branches in outside India also. Therefore, their accounting standards, which are applicable for Indian companies in India, are not applicable to outside India. The branches that are opened and outside India, for that accounting standards, the rules and principles that are stated in accounting standards of India will not be followed there. Therefore, common common accounting standards were made so that your Indian company, which is established as a branch in outside India, can also follow those accounting standards. Okay, and that is known as International Financial Reporting Standards, IFRS. Do you understand why? What is the difference between accounting standards and IFRS? IFRS is also related to accounting standard only. These are the standards, means rules and regulations, principles to be followed. Okay, so IFRS is the International Financial Reporting Standards. Okay, now why is it made? Because of globalization and liberalization, many companies have started opening their branches in outside India, or maybe outside Indian companies have been opening their branches in India. So they will not be able to follow accounting standards of India, no, because the parent company is situated outside India. Therefore, IFRS came into picture, came into consideration, and that is known as International Financial Reporting Standards. Now there is a list of international financial reporting standards. See, AS1, these are these are accounting standards. The list of accounting standards that is given, you don't have to study, you just have to read it. This is the list of accounting standard. Please note, this is not the list of IFRS. This is the list of accounting standards, Indian accounting standards. You just have to go through, that's it. Now, International Financial Reporting Standard is known as, in short, it is known as IFRS. Also, it is called as International Accounting Standards. See, if it is AS, it is accounting standard, Indian accounting standard. But if it is IAS, it is International Accounting Standards. And these are the principles, rules and regulations, framework for preparation and presentation of final accounts, final statements, that is adopted all over the world by IASB. What is IASB? International Accounting Standards Board. It is applicable all over the world. The way we prepare final financial statements, no, profit and loss account, trading account, and balance sheet. So, it gives you the rules and regulations, the framework, and how you interpret your report into your reports, how you interpret your financial statements, how you interpret your profits, your losses, how much you earned, what is the percentage of earnings in last 5 years, how would you interpret? So that the rules and regulations of interpretations, framework, and the format, how you present your format, how you present your financial statements is given in your IFRS, and it is adopted by IASB, that is International Accounting Standards International Accounting Standards Board. Okay, of course, it is global standard for preparation of public company financial statements, globally accepted. Okay, in April 2001, the new IASB took over the responsibility of setting international accounting standards. 2001, there were many amendments that IASB took for setting international accounting standards. Whenever I say international accounting standards, it is also known as IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards. In 120, see, approximately in 120 countries, it permits or requires IFRS for domestic listed companies, out of which 90 countries have fully conformed with IFRS and include a statement acknowledging such conformity in audit reports. Okay, means out of 120, 90 countries are confirmed following with IFRS what to say, IFRS principles, IFRS framework. What is all included in this IFRS? See, it is given 4 points. International Financial Reporting Standards, it is IFRS. And what else is included? International Accounting Standards is also included, means different rules and regulations that has to be stated apart from accounting standards. Okay. And the next one which is given is interpretation originated from IFRS. How you interpret your financial statement is also given here in the IFRS. How you interpret means we write report, no? Report has to be made after financial statement. After we complete our financial statement, everything, trading, profit and loss account, balance sheet. After that, we need to report it. After that, we need to interpret. So what is the format? What should be the rules and regulations to be followed for the interpretation of the financial statement is also given in the IFRS. Last, Standing Interpretation Committee issued before 2009. See, if you don't remember these years, that is okay. Standing Interpretations Committee means whatever you interpret in your report has to be signed by the chairman of Standing Interpretation Committee. Otherwise, it will not be applicable. Okay. See now. Directly come to this list of IFRS. List of IFRS. I already told you that that was the list of accounting standards of India. Okay. Now we have a list of IFRS also. See, there is so big list. How many sections are there? 17. But in your syllabus, only two or maybe one. Let me check. Okay, in detail आपको कुछ नहीं पढ़ना. In detail nothing is given. Only the list is disclosed here. Let me explain you the list because the chapter is related to your international financial reporting standards. So we need to discuss all these 17 points. Okay. See, IFRS 1, first time adoption of international financial reporting standards. This IFRS 1 will be applicable to only those companies who are for the first time adopting this IFRS. Okay. Second, see, if you don't understand anything, please raise your hand or unmute yourself to ask your doubt. Okay. And then on the spot, I will clear that same point once again. IFRS 2, share-based payment. Now, suppose there are so many shareholders in your company. Those who buy your shares become shareholders of the company. So to them, you need to pay dividends. Okay. You need to pay to them bonus. Yes. So share-based payments means whatever shares you have issued to the shareholders related to shares, you need to pay to them something, dividends, bonus, etc. So the percentages and the rules and regulations are stated in IFRS 2 related to share-based payment. Now IFRS 3, business combinations. Suppose you have 2 such businesses in outside India, 3 such businesses branches opened in outside India. You have joint ventures between Indian company and a foreign company. Okay, so that is IFRS 3. The rules and regulations are stated in IFRS 3. In detail, you don't have to study. Next, IFRS 4, insurance contracts, replaced by IFRS 17. It was earlier stated in IFRS 17, but now it is replaced in IFRS 4. It is insurance contracts. What are insurance contracts? Suppose you have taken up a business in outside India, a project in outside India. And suppose something happens with that project. It fails. Fire bursts out. ठीक है, अगर कुछ भी ऐसा कैलेमिटी हो जाता है प्रोजेक्ट के साथ, सो यू एंटर इनटू अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ऑफ इंश्योरेंस, you take a insurance of that particular project, no? So whatever contract agreement terms and conditions are stated, it has to be stated according to IFRS 4. Okay, next IFRS 5, non-current assets held for sale and discontinued operations. That means non-current assets means long-term assets. Long-term assets means fixed assets. Yes, fixed assets and invest long-term investments, land and building, furniture, plant and machinery. These are fixed assets, no? So non-current assets means long-term assets. If there are long-term assets and if you want to discontinue your business, that means if you want to close down your operations which are there in outside India maybe, okay, if you want to close down the operations and if you want to sell your current non-current assets, long-term assets, so everything, terms and conditions that are stated for selling your properties, for discontinuing business is stated under IFRS 5. Next we have 6, IFRS 6, exploration for and evaluation of mineral resources. Now those who are engaged in such businesses, see mining and extraction business, mineral resources, minerals निकालना, extract करना, है ना, ये सारे business में जो होते हैं उनके लिए ये IFRS 6 बनाया गया कि कितना एक्सप्लोर और कितना इवेल्युएट आप कर सकते हो मिनरल रिसोर्सेज को, उसके सारे रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस दैट आर स्टेटेड इन IFRS 6. IFRS 7, financial instruments. Financial instruments means what? Financial instruments means what? Shares, debentures, bonds, security, all type of securities. Yes, public deposits. These are financial instruments, no, that are bought and sold in the financial market. We have done an EMFS subject in Sem 1. You remember? Financial instruments. I hope you remember. Okay. So mutual fund, you have insurance, life insurance policy, general insurance policies. These are financial instruments that are bought and sold in the financial markets. So whatever financial instruments your company is dealing with, like shares, bonds, debentures, you have to disclose. See, there is a word given, disclosure. That means you have to disclose all your financial instruments according to IFRS 7 in your financial statements. Okay. IFRS 8, operating segments. Operating segment means what are the branches, where are the branches opened, and where is your head office, how much it is operating, what does it sell, how much profit it earns. So that will be stated as per IFRS 8. Operating segments. Operating means जो आपके business चल रहे हैं. Segments means जो आपका head office के साथ जो जुड़ी हुई subsidiary companies हैं, parent company के साथ या head office के साथ जुड़ी हुई branch हैं, branches हैं अलग अलग countries में maybe, तो उसे कहते हैं operating segments. ठीक है. IFRS 9, फाइनेंशियल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स. अब ऊपर था डिस्क्लोजर, यहाँ पे डिटेल में IFRS 9 में आप फाइनेंशियल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स की पूरी डिटेल्स दिखाएंगे कि शेयर्स हैं तो कौन से शेयर्स हैं और उनको कितना डिविडेंड दिया जाता है, और प्रॉफिट्स इतना प्रेफरेंस है तो कितना उनको डिविडेंड फिक्स्ड रेट पे दिया जाता है, डिबेंचर्स हैं तो, और बोरोड फंड्स कितने हैं. ठीक है, जैसे डिबेंचर बॉन्ड्स, तो बोरोड फंड्स इतने हैं जिनके ऊपर इंटरेस्ट रेट इतना है. मतलब IFRS 9 में आपको डिटेल में दिखाना पड़ेगा टुगेदर विद देयर मैच्योरिटी पीरियड. IFRS 10, consolidated financial statements, very important. Consolidated means, now suppose you have a head office in Delhi and branches opened in US and Australia and Gujarat and many other countries also. So consolidated financial statement means according to the head office. Head office is in Delhi, no? So Delhi will follow Indian rupees system. But Australia will follow their own currency. US will follow their own currency. Dubai will follow their own currency. So you have to convert all those according to head office home currency. Are you getting? Yes, so that is known as consolidated. Consolidated means you have to combine all the statements of the branches into head office account. Is it clear? Should I move forward?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. IFRS 11, joint arrangements means joint ventures. If you want to merge with if you want to have a foreign collaboration, if you want to have merge with a foreign company, then the rules and regulations are stated in IFRS 11. IFRS 12, disclosure of interest in other entities. Suppose if you have any interest in other entity, interest means if you have invested something in another entity, suppose you have invested in government securities also, so of course you have interest in another entities also, no, in that particular government company you have interest means not that type of interest means अगर आपने कुछ वहां पर इन्वेस्ट किया है तो आप उसके होल्डिंग पावर बन जाते हो ना, आपके हाथ में होल्डिंग पावर है थोड़ा सा। 20% इन्वेस्टमेंट किया 20% होल्डिंग पावर है, 80% इन्वेस्टमेंट किया तो 80% होल्डिंग पावर हो जाएगा। तो उसको डिस्क्लोज करना जरूरी है अकॉर्डिंग टू IFRS 12। IFRS 13, फेयर वैल्यू मेजरमेंट। फेयर वैल्यू मेजरमेंट एसेट्स, ये एसेट्स की बात कर रहे हैं, मतलब आपके पास जो एसेट्स है ना पुरानी पुरानी या जितनी भी एसेट्स आपके पास हैं उनका फेयर वैल्यू निकालना, मार्केट वैल्यू के हिसाब से वैल्यू निकालकर यू हैव टू मेजर इट and show the real value every time every year in your balance sheet. That is fair value measurement. IFRS 14 is regulatory deferral account. Um, okay, next is so IFRS 14 regulatory deferral accounts. Deferral means outstanding for many, many years. So if some amounts are outstanding for many, many years or preliminary expenses are there which are to be written off, so it has to be shown as per IFRS 14. IFRS 15, revenue from contracts with customers. Suppose you enter in a contract with customers. Suppose there is a wholesaler and you are a retailer. You enter with wholesaler. Of course, wholesaler is your customer, no? Sorry, you are a wholesaler and your customer is a retailer. You are a wholesaler and your customer is a retailer. So for you, retailer is your customer, and you enter with retailer, that is your customer, into a contract of 4 months, that I will supply goods for 4 months and you will be paying me in installments. Okay, so that particular example is suitable for IFRS 15. Okay, but that customer should be, of course it is international financial reporting standards, so customer should be outside the country. IFRS 16, leases. Leases means given on rent. A big equipments, when you give it out in a form of rent, then it becomes lease. Okay, and it is to be according to IFRS 16, disclosed in the financial accounts as per IFRS 16. And last, IFRS 17 is insurance contracts. Means any insurance contract that you enter with has to be shown according to IFRS 17. Okay, and that is replaced. Replaced. IFRS 17 is replaced here as per insurance contract. So there are not two insurance contracts. There is only one. So 17 is no longer applicable. 4 is applicable now. Okay, benefits. What are the benefits of convergence with IFRS? Convergence means combination. If you combine your IFRS with our accounting standards, okay, so what are the benefits to the investors? Of course, timely, relevantly, it is more reliable, it can be comparable across different legal frameworks. आपकी कंट्री के अलग होंगे, मेरी कंट्री के अलग होंगे, तो प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी ना फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट बनाने में। तो इन्वेस्टर्स को भी इजी हो जाएगा अगर आप IFRS को एप्लीकेबल कर रहे हैं, IFRS के रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस को अपने फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स में ला रहे हैं, तो इन्वेस्टर्स के लिए भी इजी हो जाएगा। जो उनको इंफॉर्मेशन मिलेगी वो सारी एक जैसी होगी, रिलायबल होगी, रेलिवेंट होगी, टाइमली उनको सारा कुछ इंफॉर्मेशन अवेलेबल किया जाएगा। इंडस्ट्रीज को क्या बेनिफिट है? Industries get benefited due to convergence with IFRS because it increases confidence in the minds of foreign investors. आप फॉरेन इन्वेस्टर्स को कॉन्फिडेंस दिलाते हो कि हमारा जो फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट है वो IFRS मतलब इंटरनेशनल फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्टिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स के रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस को फॉलो करते हैं, मतलब प्रोसेस में या इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में कोई भी फ्रॉड नहीं है। आया समझ में? उनके माइंड में कॉन्फिडेंस आ जाएगा। नेक्स्ट इज अकाउंटिंग प्रोफेशनल्स, उनके लिए भी फायदा है बिकॉज उनको डिफिकल्टी कम होगी। क्यों? क्योंकि रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस जो ऑलरेडी स्टेटेड है वो तो ऑलरेडी एक्सपर्टाइज होते हैं ना, समझ के वो रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस को फॉलो करके बस उसी फॉर्मेट में वो चीजें लेकर आते हैं। तो एक अकाउंटेंट प्रोफेशनल के लिए भी बहुत ईजी हो जाते हैं। कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड, it would raise reputation and relation of Indian corporate world with international financial community. आप अगर उन IFRS फॉलो करते हो जो ऑल ओवर द ग्लोब एक्सेप्टेबल है, तो इंडियन कंपनीज के लिए भी फाइनेंशियल इंडियन कंपनीज का भी जो रेप्यूटेशन है, गुडविल है, वो बाहर की कंपनीज के लिए, उनके मार्केट के लिए बेटर होता है, गुडविल अच्छा होता है। इकोनॉमी के लिए भी बेटर होता है ये। क्यों? क्योंकि हमारी कंपनीज जो हैं उसमें फॉरेन के लोग भी, मतलब फॉरेन के जो कॉर्पोरेट्स हैं और जो ओनर्स हैं वो भी इन्वेस्ट करने लगेंगे। अगर वो हमारी कंपनी में इन्वेस्टमेंट करने लगेंगी तो हमारी कंपनीज, कॉर्पोरेट्स, इंडस्ट्रीज ग्रो करेंगी। ठीक है, तो हमारी कंपनीज, कॉर्पोरेट्स, इंडस्ट्रीज ग्रो करेंगी तो इकोनॉमी तो डेवलप ही होगी ना, नेशनल इनकम बढ़ेगी हमारी। ठीक है, तो ये सारे बेनिफिट्स थे किसके? कॉन्वर्जेंस ऑफ IFRS। दैट्स इट। सो योर चैप्टर इज डन। इतना ही करना है जितना हमने अभी कवर किया। ठीक है, कॉन्वर्जेंस का मैंने आपको मतलब बताया। इट इज अ प्रोसेस ऑफ हार्मोनाइजिंग अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड इशूड बाय डिफरेंट रेगुलेटरी बॉडीज। मतलब आप अपने अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स को हार्मोनाइज करते हो, मतलब इजी बनाते हो, क्वालिटी लाते हो आप अपने अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स में, उसकी कंसिस्टेंसी बढ़ाने के लिए, और क्योंकि ग्लोबलाइजेशन हो गई है तो एफिशिएंसी बढ़ाने के लिए। ठीक है, तो कॉन्वर्जेंस विद IFRS मींस एस्टैब्लिशिंग अ सिंगल सेट ऑफ अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड। दो फॉलो नहीं करने अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड, इंडिया के अलग, आउटसाइड इंडिया के अलग नहीं। आप IFRS फॉलो करो, वो सब जगह एप्लीकेबल होता है, चाहे वो इंडिया में हो, चाहे वो US में हो, या फिर ऑस्ट्रेलिया में हो, इंटरनेशनली एप्लीकेबल होते हैं, यूज किए जाते हैं। It helps to design and maintain national accounting standards in such a way that they comply with international accounting standards. मतलब हमारे अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स को, नेशनल मीन्स हमारे इंडिया की अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स को ऐसे डिजाइन किया जाता है IFRS में जैसे कि वो इंटरनेशनली एक्सेप्टेड हो जाएं। सो दैट इज नोन एज बेसिकली कॉन्वर्जेंस विथ IFRS. इज इट क्लियर एवरीबॉडी?
Yes, ma'am.
चैप्टर था और सिंपल था।
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है, इसके ऊपर शॉर्ट नोट आ सकता है, शॉर्ट नोट ऑन IFRS। तो आपने जो भी पढ़ा उसको शॉर्ट में कैसे लिखना है आपको पता होना चाहिए। देखो IFRS की मीनिंग ये है, ठीक है, फिर उसके बाद आप कॉन्वर्जेंस ऑफ IFRS लिख सकते हो, फिर बेनिफिट्स ऑफ कॉन्वर्जेंस विथ IFRS, ऐसे करके एक शॉर्ट नोट खत्म पूरा। ठीक है ना, कैसे लिखना है आपको समझ आया? या फिर मैंने एक शॉर्ट नोट पूछ लिया बेनिफिट्स ऑफ कॉन्वर्जेंस विथ IFRS, तो आप कैसे लिखेंगे? पहले इंट्रोडक्शन लिख देंगे, फिर कॉन्वर्जेंस की मीनिंग बता देंगे, और फिर उसके बाद लिखेंगे उसके बेनिफिट्स। ये लिस्ट आपके समझने के लिए, एग्जाम में नहीं पूछते, इतना बच्चों को लिस्ट याद नहीं पड़ती है। ठीक है, इज इट ओके? शैल आई वाइंड अप?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, read
Yes,
it out
ma'am.
once again, and if you have any doubt we will cover in the next lecture. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Bye everybody, take care.
Bye,
You
ma'am.
too, ma'am.
Thank you.